It's dawned on me. I don't think that nobody is getting more quiet time on this camera than that Tide. I think that Tide must have a bug on it, because it's getting all the info about these doggone Duprees. Let's get started. Meet the Duprees. They're the ones that run things behind the gates of their private community. The core four of the family are Father Vernon, his wife Anita, and their two daughters Nicole and Danny. Let's start with Nicole, or Dr. Nicole to you, whose life seems to be so perfect. She and her husband Ted, who's also a doctor, has three children, Martin and Catherine, and also Ted's nephew Andre, whom they've raised. Oh, but then there's Danny, who married Bill, and they had two daughters, Naomi and Chelsea. And after 30 years, their daughter Naomi moved her best friend Haley into the house, and she stole her man. And now they're getting married, and Danny's not happy about none of that. But how could she be? Listen, Dupree family, you've got our attention, and we're back again today to get the tea, and I'm here to pour it, because we all want to know what happened today beyond the gates. Hello to everyone, and I hope everybody's having a great Tuesday thus far. Me, I'm doing all right, I guess. Thank you all for joining me here today. If you haven't yet, go on and hit the like button for us. And in the meantime, in between time, if you're not a subscriber yet, why don't you go on and do that for me? Because you know you love me. Come on now. Come on and subscribe to the page. Speaking of subscriptions, right? We did hit 2,200 subscribers, and I thank you guys for that as we march on to our goal of 3,000. That's 200 down, only 800 to go. How do you eat an elephant? Bite by bite. So that's how we're going to get there. One little bite at a time, one little subscriber at a time. Say hello to the mods and to Tony Lynn, our official greeter over here amongst us gatekeepers. We thank you guys for being here and for everything that you do. Let me break out my romper room mirror and see who's down here typing in the comments.
Who's that typing in the comments?
Who is that typing in the comments? Well, you know Tony Lynn is down there giving greetings and salutations, gatekeepers, mod squad, Miss Jen, hoping you all are and having you all, hoping you all and wishing you all a magnificent day, evening, and night. He's covered everything for you, okay? Everything. Miss B, who is me, sent y'all a wave. And Real Talk is in the house. Hey, Real Talk, all the way over there from Trinidad, sister. She says, hello, my people. It's great to be here, and it's great to have you. Bobby Wobby's in the house. Are those flowers, Bobby Wobby? I can't really see it, but if it is, thank you. I can't really see what that is. You know I'm old. And he says hello to everyone. KB Mommy's in here with her wrench, and she says, hey, y'all, Miss Jen, Mod Squad, Tony Lynn, and the Gatekeeper family. And Tony Lynn speaks back to her. And Steve Hoskins is in the house. Thank you, Steve Hoskins, for being here. All of you guys for being here. Those who are listening now and those who will catch it in the replay, don't forget to hit that like button. Well, I'm not going to play with y'all time. I'm going to get on over here and tell y'all what happened today. I want to catch this last comment from Bobby Wobby. He says, this is going to be the first time we will see Vernon and Anita separated. Yeah, I know, right? I was thinking that too. I'm like, child, but it's a good thing Tracy with her, because you know I don't trust that little Tracy. I don't. I really don't. All right, y'all, let's see what happened and if they kept my pictures in order today. Let's find out. Let's scroll and find out. All right. Hold on, let me move my mic just a touch. All right, kicking things off today was Danny and Andre. And they sitting up there talking after they done played in the shallow end of the pool for a while. And Andre thinks that after Bill after all that Bill has put her through, that he's just amazed that she can still be, this kind and that she cares for him still. And she's like, yeah, but she was having all this. Bill is so strong. He'll be okay because he's strong, and blah 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 blah. Bill, and he was really nice to put up with that because Lord knows I would not have been like, child, I ain't in there to talk about all that. Miss Jan Tracy doesn't concern me half as much as Sharon. She is up to something. Ooh, she may be, but I just think that Miss Anita done. They heard and burning talking, or they used to talk, or they still talking. They're talking. They're talking. Chelsea. See, I knew they were gonna get my pictures out of order. What'd I tell y'all? They just likes to agitate me with this. I don't know what's going on. And I check them and everything. Okay, well, let's see where the picture got put. Hold on, y'all. This is just too much. Okay, never mind. Well, Chelsea is busy. I'm just gonna put this up for now. Chelsea is busy vlogging, and she's included the doctor, she's following her around and covering her day and all of that. And she tells her story about how she became a doctor, and she says, I'm really a boring person. My life is really boring. I've accomplished a lot, but I live a kind of low key life. And Chelsea says that she's never seen someone who's boring be so beautiful. Ooh, she just put that out there. Put that out there on her social media, just like that. Well, Ashley is with Bill, and he needs to rest, but he wants to work. He got his computer, he got his phone, he hooked up to 9,000 cables. Bill, then you need to calm down. But at either rate, he drops his Bluetooth and he tries to get it. And just as he's trying to get it, see, I told y'all they moved my pictures around because this picture's gone. I don't believe this. Hold on, because this is not good to be distracted talking about these pictures. I know that, y'all, but it just throws me off because now I have to see where things are. It's terrible. Anyway, Bill had almost fallen off the bed, and Ashley had to catch him. So as he's about to catch him, Haley walks in just in time to see it. It was a good picture. I didn't get it. But anyway, Anita and Vernon. See now? Hold on. Are y'all joking with me? Hold on. Okay. Anita and Vernon are at the house, and they were about to leave because they were going to go check on Danny, since she's been going through so much lately, and Bill is in the hospital. And they were going to go check on her. So as they're walking out, both of the articulates was at the door. And Tracy told her, she said, first of all, Anita goes, Vernon, remind me to have those temporary passcodes changed down to the gate. And then she said, I don't care what you do. You can throw us out of Fairmont Crest, but not until I have my say. And then she walked past her and walked straight up into the mansion, child. Like she lived up in there or something. But I like that in you, little Tracy. Go ahead, girl. Well, Jacob and Naomi are at a cafe, Orphagenes, and they're talking. And he notices that she wasn't sleeping so well the last couple nights. And she's like, but I've been working on things and this and that. And he's like, yeah, but I know that you're worried about your dad. And she's like, I am. He said, well, what time do you want to go see him? And she says, I don't want to go see him. He's like, what now? You don't want to go check on your dad? And I was saying the same thing. I was like, what now? Danny and Andre are still talking. And she finally realized that she don't know why they have all been hating Haley so much. She's like, when I was in the room the other day, I realized that we all care about that exasperating man. She's like, and it just dawned on me, I don't know why we all hate Haley so much. Now that's growth for her. Real talk. I know you should have been glad to hear that because that's growth for Dan. Okay. So she's like, I don't realize, I thought about it. I saw the girls with her and I just thought we need to straighten this out. So that's good. This is moving forward. So Andre said that was good. And he says, that's good that you can find a common ground about Haley's husband. And she was like, okay, I see what you're doing there. Okay. He said, yeah, that's good. You all can come to a common ground about Haley's husband. Um, you both are worried about him. You took vows with the man, so it makes sense that you're worried about him because you were married to him. And Danny is touched by his sensitivity to that because not everybody will understand their, that they're like, why you still need to talk to him? I don't understand what you. Well, people still care about people even though they get divorced. Everybody doesn't hate somebody just because they got divorced. I didn't hate my ex because we got divorced. I wish him well. I still do. Tracy and Sharon see a box of memories that Anita had out on the table when they walked into the living room. And Anita decided to stay and let Vernon go on and you go check on Danny. I'm gonna deal with this. So Anita wants to know when she goes back up in there, what do y'all want? Because it was mighty clear where everybody stood about this uniting thing to get back together. So she says, I thought that we were, she said, I thought uniting was going to be a pleasant dream, but it turned out not to be that at all. I said, this is just not going to come true. And Tracy said, listen, you two have had spoke your mind. So you might as well hear what mine is. So settle in, because I ain't leaving here until you all listen for a change. So little Tracy stood up, little Tracy. Ashley pulls Bill back into the bed, and Haley wants to know jokingly, now what's going on here? And he said exactly what it looks like. This beautiful nurse is making a move on me. And Haley said, and I thought y'all said he didn't have no sign of brain damage. And they all laugh it off. And Ashley tells Haley that Bill has been working since 6:30 a.m. And Bill was like, hush, girl, I thought you liked me. Now you need to hush. Don't tell her that. But she need to know. Dr. Montgomery enjoyed doing the live stream, and Chelsea did too. Her followers don't know much about her life, she said, but this gave them a new little piece that she was willing to put out there. And Dr. Montgomery was touched by that. She says that she's got to go though, because she got rounds to make. Girl, I ain't got time to sit here and just chit chat with you all day. I am a doctor after all. Danny and Andrea are still talking, and Vernon is downstairs, and she's like, ooh, my goodness. And I was too. I was like, ooh, my goodness. I hope he don't think something wrong and come up them stairs, girl, because everything. And if he do see them, I wondered if Andre was going to pretend like he was there to fix something, because he was there fixing something. That's terrible. I'm hit my own hand. Just don't say that. Okay. So Vernon ends up getting a call. Let me move this comment out the way. Hold on, you guys. Vernon ends up getting a call, right? And so it turns out that that's Jacob calling him, and he wants him to come and help check on Naomi because Naomi going through some things. But right in the corner over there is the bottle of Tide. And this bottle of Tide sees everything. It's still right there. That bottle of Tide is still right there, looking and listening on to everything. This bottle of Tide, I hope it's getting paid, child, because it's got good cameos. I wish I was this bottle of Tide and can get this much camera time. He saw that the bottle of Tide saw everything. It was in 3 scenes today. So we need to acknowledge this Tide, baby, as it pays the bills and keeps the lights on over here beyond the gates. Anyway, with the bottle of Tide looking on, they are both glad that they did not get caught by her dad. You just better hope this Tide don't talk, girl, because if it do, y'all in trouble. Tracy said that, hold on one second, okay, Haley wants Bill to slow down. And then she want to know who snuck all this work up in here like this. So she gathered up all them folders. She was like, I know Tomas. Bobby Wobby said, I'm tired of Tide. Baby, Tide paying them bills. We got to be patient with Tide. Tide keeping us watching the show every day. So we're going to be a little patient about Tide. Anyway, she want to know who snuck all this work up in here, Tomas or Carolyn. He was like, nah, I ain't about to incriminate nobody. I ain't about to incriminate nobody. No, I ain't neither. And she was like, that's okay, because I'm getting ready to snatch all this up, because you're going to get somewhere and sit down. She said, and I don't want you scaring me like this anymore. And then they get a close-up of Bill touching her stomach. And I was like, I wonder why they showing it like that. Girl, you better have a baby in there. You better have a baby in there. It's going to be trouble. At least that's what I think anyway, right? Tracy says that she feels like they done fought enough and that beating up on each other about the past is a waste of time because it's not going to bring Barbara back. And that they all collectively put Barbara through a lot that led to what happened. Well, that was nice. Everybody took a little piece of the blame after Anita broke it down for y'all because she broke it down where it was forever broke, honey. She said, don't put all this on her no more. It's been enough. So anyway, Anita and Sharon don't know if they can get back together to be the Articulets again. And Tracy says, even if it's for one night, we need to do this if it's possible. And I want to try. Girl, at this point, we want to see the Articulets, and y'all better get down when we see y'all too. Y'all better get down. We waited this long. The long anticipated get back together. Y'all better bring it. Naomi blames herself for her dad being in the hospital, and Jacob called Vernon to come talk to her because she feels really, really bad and he's not getting through to her. Meanwhile, Andre is offering to go to lunch with Danny. And Danny said, I got to go to the hospital and check up on Bill. And Andre has got to go drop off some at the hospital himself to take that video up there. And he get to see Ashley. So both of y'all going up there for, the same reason. Check on other people. Child, I guess. Anyway, he said, well, one day, anytime you're ready, say the word and I'll make an honest woman out of you. And she said, it's too late for that. Child, it show is. I do not disagree. We all agree. Tracy reminds the ladies that they were 4 little colored girls with a dream. And they had a real sisterhood, a real love for each other, always supporting each other and protecting one another. And she wants them to walk into the future together. This might be their last chance to be as close as they once were. And she wants to grab a little applause too as they do that with each other. As they get back together, she said, we may as well get us a little applause too. Now, can we do that? Can we try? Well, can we try, y'all? Can we? Vernon sits down with, let me go down here because they moved these pictures. Vernon sits down to talk to Naomi, and she saw the signs. She knew something was wrong, and she feels like she should have said something about her dad, hand shaking and all of that stuff in his speech, messing up. And she said, I just feel like I should have made him get it checked out. And then he shares a story of how a friend of his, Anita, blamed herself for a friend's passing. And that he helped her to see that she can't carry that kind of weight around on her for the rest of her life. And she's listening. Bill is in there almost passing tests, but Bill wasn't happy with almost. Bill is like, I do not want to go to no rehab. I'm supposed to be perfect. You the doggone doctor. You the one getting paid to fix me. Now, one thing Bill can do is talk slick to somebody. Ain't it your job to cure me, he said. Bill, is it me? Or are you talking like one of them uppity Duprees? Is it y'all? Because I think he acting a little uppity. He acting a little uppity. He acting a little Dupree-ish. But don't y'all talk about Bill. Only I can speak about Bill. Y'all keep y'all comments to y'allself below DD. But anyway, he got to go to rehab. And then Danny comes in and he's like, just what I need, the Danny show. And she says, I was just checking in. Now, Bill, what is this about? Why you talking to Danny like this all of a sudden? Why? Because you out the woods now and you don't need her. You ain't scared no more. She dispensable again. Because that's not nice. That's what I feel. That's just not nice. It's not nice. Anyway, let me find this next picture. I'll use this one. The ladies are looking at pictures of themselves, and Anita is feeling hopeful now. And she wants to salvage any little piece of what they had. And Sharon softens up herself just a little bit, and she feels the same. She thought that she wanted to be angry with Anita for the rest of her days, but she said, once I said my piece, it just didn't feel like what I thought it was going to feel like. And I think I'm ready to let it go too. Well, we are glad to hear that. We are glad to hear that. Okay. They all end up hugging it out. And it looks like we going to have a reunion. Because they done put their hands together and said the mantra. Say it with me. Better together, sisters forever, articulate strong. I hope y'all mean that. I hope y'all mean that. Vernon tells Naomi a story about, let me make sure, okay. Vernon tells Naomi a story about the movement back in the day and his uncle Cornelius and how he was sick after what happened to Martin happened. And that one day he fell and he thought that he was not going to be okay. That Vernon thought his uncle wasn't going to be okay. He says, but I ended up not saying anything, and my uncle ended up having a stroke, and I felt guilty about that. And I told God, I'm not going to play ball again until my uncle is okay. The uncle ended up recovering, and when he shared with the uncle how he felt, the uncle said that he should not have felt that way. He said, what happened to me, I knew was a long time in coming. And then he tells Naomi that she needs to go talk to her dad and tell her dad to take care of himself and not blame her, not blame herself for what he's going through. Um, Wait a minute. I think I just turned to the wrong page. I did. I'm done with that one. I'm about to read y'all on the same page again. Okay, let me scroll up for pictures. Hold on. Bill can begin physical therapy at the hospital. Everybody's so excited. Yes. And the doctor told him, she said, we have the absolute best. The absolute best. In fact, she helped me when my back was bothering me. And in walked Nurse Messi. And he was like, they was looking like, what, Shanice? Shanice? Turns out that Shanice, in that picture, okay, I'll use this one. Turns out Shanice is not only the supervising nurse, she was also a physical therapist. And Bill is like, well, when did you begin this career? Because I ain't about to have no nurse taking care of me. And she said, well, my credentials are this and that. I mean, I can send you references if you want. Haley said, that's not necessary. And Bill said, oh, yes, it is. I don't have no just plain old nurse over here trying to tell me what to do. See, again, Bill, you are acting a little entitled. A little Duprees, sir. A little Duprees. That's why you won't back over there. You miss all that carrying on. Them was your spirit animals. I get it. Well, Andre is looking to leave this phone that he brought up in there with the evidence on it with Ashley, of all peoples. Ashley. Well, okay, I know that the assistant where he was supposed to take it wasn't at her desk, but he takes it to Ashley and tells her that he gonna leave it with her. Now I don't know how Leslie gonna find out about that phone because I told y'all when they showed the phone that he was showing her what it was, and now she know what to look for. Is she gonna go down there and fake as the assistant? Well, she can't do that with Ashley. She can't do that with Andre. Something gonna happen. She gonna get a hold of that. But that's okay. But anyway, he leaves it with her. Why he over there flirting? Because you know that's what he like to do. Be all up in Ashley face. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But anyway, I was also trying to figure out why was Andre lying when she asked him. She said, "Do you think this footage has anything to do with Leslie case?" And he was like, "I don't know. Could be." Now, why are you lying when you know that's what's on there and that's what they want? I don't know why you lying to little Ashley. I thought Ashley was your girl. Why are you lying to her? You think she gonna cooperate with Leslie? Dana Sherry? Look. We gonna see. Back in the room, Haley is talking babies. And I had to catch this shot because Danny just had to roll one eye right quite fast. But to her defense, real talk, it was quick and quiet. It was a quick and quiet one eyeball roll when she started talking about that baby. Anyway, Shanice is set to start that rehab. And Danny goes on and leaves out. She was leaving out. And then Bill stopped her and he said, I just want to thank you. Is this the part? I'll make sure I'm reading this right. Okay. So he said, hey, I just want to thank you for checking in on me. And that's the face he had right there. He was looking all grateful again. First, it was what you want. Then it was like, hey, thank you for checking in on me. I really appreciate it. She was like, that's okay, Bill. No problem. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, when Shanice, let me see, when Danny leaves out, she spots Andre all up in Ashley's face, right? And then she walked over there and she was like, you know what? Second thought, uh, we can go to lunch. And then they leave, and Ashley's sitting there watching them walk away. Girl, you got Derek. Andre ain't your man. Why you looking like that? Why is you looking like that? Cause why is you looking in that elevator all longingly? I'm gonna tell Derek. I hope the bottle of Tide tell on you. Cause the Tide was over your house too. I hope it tell. I do. Um, Vernon comes home and Anita is all packed up, excited, and ready to leave for Chicago, my kind of town. They're gonna go get ready so they can rehearse and they can get their pitch and everything right, pick out their songs. And he was like, "Now you could have did that here." She was like, "No," and he says, "No, I understand. You need to go reconnect." She said, "Yeah, I need to reconnect with my past, all the stuff I've been running from and avoiding." Girl, yeah, come on back, but you know, Cabrini Green is gone now, so don't be coming here to Chicago talking about y'all was at Cabrini Green now, because Cabrini Green is a very upper class, upper crust area now. Upper crust. You know Cabrini Green was right by the lakefront. That's prime territory. They need to get that back. And what they probably should have, because it was bad over there. Chelsea asked if her dad will make it when she sees the doctor out in the hallway. And she said, I believe that he's going to make a full recovery, in my opinion. And she's really glad that she's her dad's doctor. I know you are, girl. And she thinks that if he does the work that he's supposed to, and if he does everything Shanice tells him to, then he should be all right. But she's super sure that Shanice is going to see to it that he does what he's supposed to do. Because y'all know Shanice may be messy, but Shanice is very professional. Down to Orpha Jeans. Andre and Danny up in there holding hands in public. In public. And you in a bright green dress where everyone can see you. Look at you. Look at you. He asked her if she's okay and how was the visit with Bill. And she says, you know, I felt like we were kind to each other. It felt the way things used to be before Haley, but that she don't want to sound pathetic, nor does she want to hurt anyone, Andre, like Bill hurt her. Naomi visits Bill, and Jacob was like giving Haley the eye, like, come on, let's leave and get him a minute. And she was like, are you trying to put me out of my own husband's room? And so Naomi just walked up to her and she said, I just want to, let me make sure. She thanked her for taking such good care of her dad. And Bill was pleased as punch with his big old fine self. He was as pleased as punch. He was. And so when they left out, she was talking to her dad, and it was a sweet moment that they had. And then she was like, "And I bought you some banana pudding from Orpha Jeans." And baby, when he was getting ready to stick his fork down up in that, he thought he was in that banana pudding, in came Shanice and snatched it away. Bill looked like he wanted to jump out that bed and fight. Because you know, when you got your mouth all ready for something, you could already taste it on your palate, and somebody come and snatch it, some good nana pudding, he was ready to fight. I could tell he was, but Shanice don't care, baby. She don't play. Anita and Vernon say their goodbyes. And as Bobby Wobby pointed out, this is their first time separated from each other. Child, I hope don't nobody get into nothing. I certainly hope don't nobody get into nothing. But Anita and Vernon are saying their goodbyes, and he said, I'll be thinking of you every moment that you're in Chicago. And she was like, me too. Me too. I think they're really sweet. They're a sweet little couple. They are. But you know, it left us with questions. Will Andre ever get over Ashley? And will Danny ever get over Bill? So that they can move forward if they want to move forward. Now that Naomi has offered an olive branch to Haley, is their relationship finally on the mend? Huh? Yeah. And now that the articulates are moving ahead, will we finally meet Dante Green? And who gonna play him, child? I don't know. But y'all know the only way we're gonna find out is we keep on watching and being nosy and peering behind what's going on beyond the gates. All right, y'all. Let me see what y'all talking about down in the comments before we slide up out of here. Let me get these comments. Hold on. Cousin Lynn, if you're listening later, you know we missed you today. We did, girl. Bobby Weiber says, I don't know what it is either. I must have missed something up there. Okay. Tony Hoskins said, good afternoon. Good afternoon to you. And KB Mommy says, hey there, hiding in the bushes, waiting in the weeds, tuning in from the trees, or even hanging in the hedges, hiding in the hedges. Make sure you smash that like button, please. And thank you, y'all. Stephen Hoskins says, Miss Jen, Tracy doesn't concern me half as much as Sharon. She is up to something. They both up to something. Just different kinds of something. But I think that Tracy's something involves this man right here. I do. I sure enough do. Hold on, let me take this picture down, y'all. I think it involves that man right there. I most certainly do. Because people like to pay you back in their own way, right? And I think this is how she gonna pay Anita back. Them sweet ones you got to watch. Belinda Hill says, hey, Miss Jen, KB, Tony, Gatekeepers and Mod Squad and Soapies. I did hit the like button on the way in. That's right. She said, hit the like button on the way in like I did. That's right, honey. Follow the leader, honey. Elaine T, hey, Gatekeepers. Bobby Wobby says, I got articulates fatigue. Are you tired already? They better have some busting songs when they buzz up in there too. I already read tomorrow's episode recap, and I don't want to give away any spoilers, but let me say this. Dr. Madison Montgomery cannot be true. What? What? Okay, Dr. Madison Montgomery cannot be trusted, and I will leave it at that. Make of it what you will. Ooh. Bill got an entire stroke, and he's still working. This man needs to stop. He on the phone talking about depositions. Bill needs to relax and take it easy. A hospital bed with no rails. Well, you know the rails can fold down now, but now you got me want to go back and see, did it have that? Why do Vernon and Anita need to check on Danny? Because Danny had a stroke. Wait, because Bill had a stroke. I'm confused. Why does Vernon and Anita need to check on Danny? Because they know she still cared about the man that was the husband. Bill, I don't, not real talk. Now, the girl, I know you're still young, but if you ain't been married before, you bond with people when you're married to them. And when something happens to them, you still care about what happens to them. Unless you're just hardcore and you're like, I don't care if that joker whole head roll off. It can still make you a little sad, whatever. But, then they know, girl, they know Danny still care for this man a little days. They know. Bill's so hard-headed, he needs to do what the doctor says because he is not Superman. Say that again for those in the back that did not hear, and twice the bill, please. Please like, share, and subscribe. Below Didi says, because Danny is fragile, Real Talk. Real Talk says, exactly, Stephen. I love Bill, but he needs to take it easy. Don't overextend yourself. Don't try to bounce back too quick. And then she asked fragile for what? Vernon knows she a drunk. Who a drunk? Who a drunk? I missed something. Yes, I'm seeing growth on both ends. Yesterday it was nice to see everyone come together and put aside their differences. Yes, it was. Hello, everyone. I'm working but watching the chat as much as I can. That's okay, girl. So Danny gonna crash out because Bill had a stroke? Happy Taco Tuesday. It's good to see you too, friend. Belinda says. Bobby Wobby says, it's believable. Okay. Bilo Didi says, I think Danny is finally getting the closure she needs to move on. Thank goodness. But did y'all peep Bill still has that twinkle in his eye for Danny? I peeped that yesterday. Told y'all. At Real Talk 411, exactly. Sometimes people want their cake and to eat it too. So he may want Danny, but he still may want the comfort and the familiarity that Danny has. He want to be friends still. Let's hope he don't want to be closer. Because, don't nobody want to see that. I'm just telling y'all, don't nobody want to see that. Steve Hoskins says, exactly. He needs to learn that, but fear he will do so the hard way by being stubborn as a mule. The way Tracy barged in that house, I was like, oh, we got some nerves, little mama. People just barge into stuff behind these gates, child. Because you couldn't get in my house like that. Danny ain't getting no closure. I guarantee you, if the chance came up for her to go back with Bill, she would leave Andre high and dry. She don't want Andre now. Anywho, moving on. KB says, yes, I think that Danny is finally getting the strength to move on. Girl, that look from Bill, though. Andre needs to open his eyes and see this for what it is. Even if they aren't together, Bill will always come first with Danny. Andre will be number two, and is that what Andre wants? She'll be number two with him too, because he likes Ashley, and he wants to be number two to someone. They'll be number two to each other. Bobby Wobby says, I'm tired. Elaine says, I was so proud of my tick tick boom, Danny. Were you? It's a matter of time before trying to get Danny back. So you think he will be the one to try to get Danny back? Especially if that baby turned out to be a flop. Bobby Wobby says, okay. Tony Lynn says, Tide is one of the many products by Procter & Gamble, and this company has been sponsoring all soaps for over 50 years. Danny deserves the same amount of grace as What Ifs as much as any of these others on the show. That's a good point. Real Talk says, why is everyone saying that Danny and Bill are going to get back together? Even if they hypothetically get back together, they will never work. Bill and Danny will not go back to what they were. Yeah, that's true. Just because you get together don't mean you're going to stay together. Because a lot of times people go back. And this is another reason why people need to stay out of folks' way, baby, when they done been together like that. Because people do go back and forth before they make up a decision. And ain't no need in getting caught up in that. Sharon couldn't be all up in my house disrespecting me, Bilo Didi said. Bill and Danny will never go back together. They were pre-Haley and pre-Andre. Too much time has passed and too much has happened. They are both in love and they have feelings for each other. Ain't that much time passed, child. It has not been that much time. They did what they did. They got caught. They got married. There was no time. Hey, gatekeepers, have y'all hit the like button? Yes, our Danny did good today, KB Mommy says. Wow. Naomi Hawthorne taking responsibility for causing Bill to have a stroke. Insert Bridget Nelson's gift. Sorry, gift. I don't know her gift. But we should be glad that happened, though, right? Right, Rhoda? If Danny goes back to Bill, they will never work because she will never be able to 100% let go of Andre. She will be with Bill and will still want Andre on the side. Or Bill may want Haley on the side. I know you got a chick on the side. I bet you got a chick. I know you got a chick on the side. Now that woman wouldn't have gotten checked. Now that woman would have got checked quickly. Child, she wouldn't have got through my dough. And that's the truth. Stephen Hoskins says Naomi needs to stop blaming herself for her daddy's health issues. He should have gone to the doctor the first time his hand started shaking and twitching. And Elaine says, right. Tony says, haha, what you mean, KB Mommy? What background info? I missed something up there. Okay. Real Talk says Bill will have a problem with Danny and her inability to let go of Andre, and that's when Bill will want to go back to Haley. Possibly so. If Danny and Bill get back together, it would probably be on the final episode of the show. Naomi did not cause her father to have a stroke, but Bill should have gotten himself checked out at the first sign of a problem. Bilo Didi says, he all right, Miss Jen. I'm softened a little since he is being more kind towards Danny. Girl, you better leave Bill alone. I agree with Stephen. One way or another, his health issues would come up. It's good that a quick acting person like Naomi caught it first, Dorsey said. Okay. And KB Mommy says hello to you, Dorsey. Good to see you. Below Didi, I was waiting for your reply. Real Talk says, Andre and Danny are both each other's second choice. Andre still wants Ashley. Did you see the look Ashley's face when he went into the elevator? Mm-hmm. I know they are not still going with the ridiculous narrative that Naomi caused Bill to have a stroke. That's not how it works. There's a lot of people feel that way. I've read that online. So we're gonna ignore the fact that Bill is in the hospital wearing silk. Oh yeah, I was thinking about that. I was like, them some nice pajamas. Yeah, they are bougie for real. Cause I mean, I didn't know they let you wear your own stuff like that. Cause they got to be able to get the stuff when you come to the doctor. They want to get right to it, sir. And you hooked up to all the machines, so it ain't like you can just get up. So I don't know about that part, but maybe Bill was like, I ain't about to lay up here in no ugly white. I got to give me something else to wear. Because what if one of my clients come up here? I need to be looking rich and successful. Or maybe he just got the top on, not the bottom. If Shanice is going to be Bill's physical therapist, who will be monitoring the nurse's station in case Leslie multiple personalities show up again in a phony disguise to stir up more trouble? She says she does this part-time, and his therapy starts at the hospital. Bill definitely been bougie and wanting to be like the Duprees. Raise your hand if you already hit the like button. I'm trying to see something. Can we please move on from the second choice, third choice, red light, green light nonsense, asking for a friend? Thank you for remembering me below. Raised hand, Didi. I always hit like the first thing. There is the door. Leave. Okay, don't y'all fight for real. Because we just here discussing the show. Everybody's got their picks. Okay, Danny is seeing her completion. We don't want anyone else to have Andre. Okay. Oh, she said I'm talking about Danny when she. Okay, all right. I got you. You're talking about Danny can leave. Okay, gotcha. She's going to the hospital to cheat with Dante Green to Chicago. She better not. Unless Dante Green is all that and a bag of chips. Girl, don't risk it all for nothing. But I don't want her to do it no way. Don't cheat on me. That's what y'all. I'm starting to think that deep down inside, someone really likes Danny more than they want to admit. I mean, some other people. Knowing Chelsea, she will see this as a social media game. She will be documenting Bill's rehab and recovery process for her social media. Belinda Hill says, yes, I'm a Trekkie and I always hit the like button on the way in. Visiting Chicago is on my bucket list. It's the funnest place. I love every single character on this show, even the villains and villainesses, because they're so needed to make the show exciting and interesting. See, I'm with you, Tony, man. I like them all, even the ones that get on my nerves, even the boring ones, because it gives us to say, I'm tired of them. Andre, open your eyes, boy. You're going to get hurt, and I will hate to see it happen. Let's see. At Tony Land, I know you do especially like Leslie. Yeah, Leslie keeps things stirring all the time. We love her. We do. Okay. Real Talk says, Shanice, why did you take that poor man's banana pudding away from him? Why? Not the banana pudding. I know DNA boring, but I like the actor and actress. They okay. I know they don't look, I know they not great, but okay. I don't believe that about Anita. Very true, KB Mommy. Okay, let's see. Is Dante even alive? See, they ain't said nothing about him being locked up or not alive no more. I think he's gonna pop up. At this point, Donnie, they reading the blogs and stuff. They know we clamoring to find out who this man is. Well, you think somebody gonna end up 6 feet under in Chicago? We don't need all that to go on. Or they gonna find Barbara. Did anybody else see behind the scenes of Kat when she broke into Leslie's MP place, Leslie's multiple personality place? See the behind the scenes of Kat when she broke into Leslie's place. What you mean the behind the scenes? What's that mean? Loved Anita and Vernon, scared about Anita going off. Lane T says, love Anita and Vernon, scared about Anita going off with Tracy and Sharon. I'm suspicious of their intentions toward Anita. Well, I didn't think about that. Let's hope not. Let's hope not. Greetings, Belinda. So marvelous to see you as always. I would like to see Terrence Howard. Terrence always sounded like he about to cry. Howard, listen, man. I don't know what you're thinking, man. Make sure you hit the like button as you come in. Follow us on IG. I also started a Facebook page for this, but then it turns out, because I started it because I wanted to live stream while we were doing this, but I can't live stream onto that unless it's a regular page. So I may have to change that. I don't know. But in the meantime, y'all could join the page because, like I said, if anything ever happens over here, you could look over on Facebook and get the answers to some things maybe. So maybe we'll use it for that. I don't know. Thank you to everyone who joined us today. Make sure you come back tomorrow, KB says, to tell your family, your friends, your neighbors, your church members, and even your frenemies to come on over here and join us. Leslie is never pressed, she said. Great chat this evening. Gatekeepers, everyone have a great night. I will be back on Thursday. Bye, y'all. Bye, Stephen. Belinda says, yes, that was funny. Belinda Hill says, Tony Lynn, I like the characters too. Otherwise, we wouldn't have anything to talk about. Clutch our pearls and laugh about. And so what you think, I'll send it to your DM. Okay, thank you so much. The behind the scenes, that would be nice to see, y'all. Okay, y'all, I guess I will get ready to get out of here. I'm going to change my closing today because we lost a very close family friend today to my family. She lived a good life. She was an older lady, almost 90 years old. Just one of the nicest people, but one of the most direct people you will ever meet. And I liked her for that. You would always know exactly where she stood. She was a boss, honey. She's owned a business for so many years as a woman, and especially a Black woman. And the kind of businesses she was in was very rare for a woman to make it in that field. And she was highly successful within it. But anyway, we lost her today. And so what I wanted to do was to close out with some of her most famous words. This is what she would always say. And if you knowing that I'm just going to say she was in the funeral home business. Okay. So with her being in funeral home business, it was just, she was just a person that was full of life. Like just about 10 years ago, she was riding on a motorcycle with her grandson. And anything she wanted to do, travel, like she's been sick this past year, but in this past year, that woman went on 3 different trips within 2 months. And when I said trips, I mean to islands and things like that. She lived. So instead of my regular closing, I'm going to leave you. Thank you guys for the condolences. I'm going to leave you guys with her famous words, which is this. Baby, life is meant to be lived. So get busy living it up. All right, y'all. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Y'all have a good evening. And let's see who gets the last comment up on the screen. You got about 30 seconds. And KB, you usually get it, child. But let's see who gets it today. You guys have a great day. All right. Bye-bye.
Okay, that's it for today. They're closing the gate, so I've got to close this door until tomorrow. See you then. Bye-bye.